Our favorite part of the morning. You ready?
Always. Hi guys. Good morning.
Good morning. You were laying in the chips. Oh, the rooster says good morning. Hi guys. Did you have a good sleep? The rooster's like, somebody said morning? Good morning. Hey, yeah, mommy, come pet you. I'm coming. Come give you some snugs. You were laying in the chips, Hudson.
Run a few miles down a desert road. Stare too long at a 2-foot rose. It's fixing something that's been broken. Go get lost in a little town. Get dressed up and just drive around. Get both feet on some solid ground. I'm gonna fill this bucket up to the top. Fill this bucket up. I'm gonna fill this bucket up to the top. Fill this bucket up.
I've never seen this before. You're covering a surface to do work on? No way. YouTube family, this can't be. Is this a new year, new Elysia?
I don't want to get glue on this table because the boys and I use this table a lot, especially if we're doing just like prepping for baking or something like that. We pull it out, we prop it up, and we use it, so I want to cover it. I don't want to get wood glue all over it. Making progress in the pantry today. I went ahead this morning and cut my next 2 cupboards, the actual rails and then the flat part that goes in. So what we've done, we've shown in previous videos, is we use the table saw to create a groove in here that our thin 1/4 inch MDF board can essentially go in like a rail. And I know that maybe there are some professional cabinet makers online that will say there's like special jigs for this and things like that. We've just been doing this completely on a budget and using any of the tools that we already have to be able to do this. So that system worked. And then at the end, we just have a tiny little spot here. When we do all the sanding and filling, there's a little tiny hole from where we run it that we fill and then put it together, finish the paint job. So it really saved us a little bit of money, I think, on a special jig, and it was fast to do it. Like Philip figured it out in 2 seconds flat. We have our 4th bottle of wood glue from working on the kitchen and pantry renovation.
The Gorilla Glue has held up to the test of time so far.
So far, we've had not one cabinet budge on anything that we've done. So I'm gonna put a bunch of wood glue in here, adhere it together, and then use my cabinet clamps to be able to fasten these. The issue with only buying 2 cabinet clamps, there was only 2 when we went to buy them, is that you can do one cabinet door one side at a time, wait for it to dry, usually about 15 minutes or so until it's like tacky dry, and then I can move it to the other side. So it's not the fastest process ever, but if I was gonna get into some major cabinet making, I would invest in some more clamps for them. Lots of glue in the rails. Okay, I have some overhang on both ends. I need 8 hands to be able to do this every single time. This is why I covered the table. And the clamps actually don't fit. They're
So
just shy.
close.
So that is the problem, and these are the 36-inch clamps. So I'm going to do the sides, and then I will do the top ones after. So right now we have our first 2 cabinets that are going to finish up the top 2 that needed to be built over here. We have all the hinges and hardware and everything here, but as you can see, like these are unfinished. They need to have some filling done on them, sanding, obviously need to continue to dry. So since that's going to take a while for everything to dry in here, like the wood glue, we're going to go around and fill some of the seams that we have for the caulking around the sink now that the sink is operating and we have water in the pantry. We've been using it now the last day and a half or so to fill up things like the horse water buckets and stuff, and it is so nice to have a nice deep utility sink. And because it's made out of like that bathtub type material and not something that's maybe a little bit more Our kitchen one is a different material than this, and I'm a lot more careful with it that it doesn't scratch. If it was more of a thick material like this one, I would be a little less careful with it. So I just think that this one was actually a much nicer material for things that we're gonna like, you know, toss things in the sink or use it as like a mess spot, because you can really scrub this sink and not worry about it because of the material. So I'm really happy that this one was such a good fit quality anyways. But we want to make sure that our countertop doesn't get destroyed as we're using the water, so we want to get the caulking in there.
Pay attention to the sound, the one that's coming from your mouth. Don't mean to turn it upside down. I really wanna hear you out. I can't know how it is to be where you so calmly sit. When I'm further my own, there it is, catching only part of it. To just be, to really see something other than just me. To lean in, look around, open up to the sound.
So over the Christmas holidays, we got a package in the mail, and Philip's parents had sent a package for all of us for Christmas. And in that package were a few things for the boys and a very special gift for Philip and I that we are so excited. We just want winter to hurry up and go away so that we can work on our barn build, because Philip's parents bought us a gift that will be perfect for us to put on the top of our new barn build that we're going to be doing in the early spring. Look at this amazing weather vane that they were able to get us. They picked this up. I believe it's an antique for sure. And from what we know, they had used the bottom part of the weather vane but had never used the horse part. So we will be able to christen our new barn when we get it all built up in the spring and be able to hoist this to the top of our barn. So we're so excited. So of course this horse will spin in the wind, and we'll have the directionals of northeast, southwest, and we think it's absolutely gorgeous. What a special gift to get. Kind of love it.
Oh wow, I love it.
He has cute little ears, and it's just exactly what we would want to put on the top of the barn. And honestly, with the barn planning process that we've been going through to get everything kind of organized to do that build, it didn't even cross our mind that we would want to put one of these on the top, although it's been something that we've wanted for years and years and years, was to have actual weather vanes. So what a lovely gift to put on the top.
My dad, he calls us every day, and he is our weatherman, and he tells us what the weather's going to be like today, in an hour, what it's gonna come. He's like, you got a hurricane, you got a bunker down, you got a windstorm, you got a snowstorm, you got good weather coming. So how fitting that the weatherman himself and my mom, the weather woman, sent the weather vane to us. I love it. It's
They knew
perfect.
right away when they saw it that we would absolutely love it. And funny, they had everything wrapped in the box and we had to pull everything out. And she thought for sure we would know what it was just by like pulling the big bag that it was in. It was in a big canvas type, like large gift bag, all kind of wrapped up, but it was not put together. And so I didn't want to get any hint as to what it was. So I very carefully just lifted it out of the box, tucked it behind our Christmas tree, and we didn't touch it, we didn't shake it, we didn't squeeze it. We didn't want to spoil this surprise because they were so excited to give us this gift. And we waited, and then Christmas Day when we opened it, right away, as soon as Philip saw part of the top of the box with the letters, he's like, no way, that's what this is.
It started raining in the living room again. it wasn't tears.
So yeah, we absolutely love it. So
Oh, it's amazing.
it's awesome.
Now we have to build a barn that fits that.
Now we have to build a barn that fits it like a big barn. This is gonna need a pretty good sized barn, I think. Being able to get all of the seams that were kind of in this laundry side filled in changed the look of it entirely. And it's already giving it a more finished look before we even add any paint or anything. We just have a little bit of primer on this, and we took off the bottom doors underneath here so that we can paint and prime the back sides and get those completely all sanded up, since we kind of just put them on to make sure that everything fit perfectly with the sink. But we were able to get everything filled. So now we have all of that paintable caulking in any of the separations that we had, and we've really closed up where we had the countertops here. I still want to do just a quick second coat of caulking around the seams of the sink here just to make sure. So we're just letting that dry before I do that. But I think it just really overall changed the whole look of it, not having gaps in any of these shelving or separations between the tiles and the wall. I did have 2 small spots that I didn't have enough of my poly on for the actual Aztec pattern that I'm going to just redo a couple of those triangular Aztec patterns on the bottom, but that's honestly like a 2-second fix for me to do that later on the week when we know we're done like sanding and making a mess in this spot.
Right.
Because now that we kind of are committed and we really like it, we want to make sure that I perfect a few small spots that kind of went funny with the stencil. But yeah, I like that everything's sort of seamed up. So right now we're going to work through the night and we're going to try to get some of the built-in done around our fridge area that we were talking about doing that broom closet. So thank you for all of your suggestions on how I absolutely need to have what some of you were referring to a vacuum garage, which I thought was pretty clever to be able to do that cleaning product like broom closet, a thing spot for my vacuum, of course, to just tuck it away and have all of that you don't want to obviously see as an aesthetic tucked away. So we're going to try to tackle those strange angles to make a cupboard there. Because we did take off some of the original tile on the wall that was damaged, I want to get a little bit more putty because we're knowing that things are taking a lot longer to dry. For example, our cupboards that we built today are still way too wet to hang. So this has now been, I would say, 5 hours almost. Yeah. And wood glue typically doesn't take that long to dry. So building cabinet doors right now when it's cooler is definitely a longer process than if we were going to be able to build them outside and let them dry quickly. So slow process getting the cabinet doors on. We're gonna hopefully get the rest of these on tonight, get them painted. So this sort of side right here can be pretty much completed within the next 24 hours, which is exciting. But broom closet tonight, getting some more of this progress done. Thank you so much for cheering us on. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Let us know what you think of our Weatherman and are you excited for the barn build coming up in the spring? I wanted to mention on our first video that we did yesterday about first getting into back to 2023, but leave a comment down below. Philip and I have been making our dream list of things that we want to tackle and accomplish together in 2023. So let me know in the comment section, what is something that you are working on that's a goal of yours for 2023. I love you. See you tomorrow.